What's going on, everyone? It's Brain with Coach Fine Jewelry, your personal jeweler. This morning, Ben Baller did a post on Instagram basically saying 90% of custom jewelry and watches coming out of New York and Philly are made with synthetic CVD diamonds, aka lab diamonds. Bold, bold, bold statement. Let's get started. Let's jump right into this. Here is my Instagram, and as always, smash that like button. Now, Ben Baller, where he's at, the type of following he has, is not going to wake up one morning and just post something just to post something. He basically burnt the house down with the New York and Philly jewelers. Everyone's looking at their jewelers sideways after that post. So obviously he knows something. And within the realm of jewelry, the lab diamonds are a big problem for people that do business the legitimate way. Now, there's nothing wrong with lab diamonds if you like them, but if you're selling real diamonds, now the difference between the two, I shouldn't say real because they're both diamonds. The difference is one is made in a lab. They both have the same components. One's made in a lab in a few days, weeks. The other is mined from the earth. That is the difference. Whether you like lab diamonds or you like real diamonds, that's up to you. But if you're buying something which you think is mined from the earth, you should be entitled to buying that and not a lab diamond that someone sold you. So it's very shady. It's a fraud, and it definitely is going around. You look on social media, on Instagram, I get people all the time asking me, hey, this jeweler is doing the work for half the price. He's giving me 2 carats. Why are you charging so much? Well, I don't want to go out and say it because I don't know for a fact, but most likely those diamonds are lab diamonds because they are cheaper than real diamonds, obviously. And it just makes it harder for people doing business the legitimate way with diamonds than people that are just buying lab diamonds, because it will test as a real diamond because, again, they have the same components as a real diamond. So if you test it, it'll beep, beep, beep green, and you'll think you have the real thing, but really you had no idea. And it's very hard to disprove unless you send it into like a GIA lab, and that's costly. So again, it's hard to disprove. It's not like gold where you can make a cut and test it directly and it'll tell you right away. The diamonds, there's a gray area when testing them. And because we're talking about diamonds, I also want to touch up on the mislabeling of clarities of diamonds going around with the melee, the small diamond sizes. A lot of jewelers on Instagram are just labeling their diamonds VS, VVS only, setting this high bar of quality of diamonds, which in fact they're not. They're just regular SI quality. Some are worse. And there's nothing wrong with those qualities. They look great at the smaller sizes. That's what I use, but I do not mislabel. I could very well mislabel my diamonds and no one would ever know. You're not going to take a piece to another jeweler. They're not going to spend the time look at it and try to disprove the fact that it's not VS because the diamonds are so small. Now, if you sent it into GIA, they would grade them and then send you back a report of what they actually are, but that's very costly to do. Now, jewelers can just post that, and if they do post that, I want you guys to comment under that. Please show the cert that they are in fact VS, and you will never see a post of that because in fact they are not. They're just labeling them because they can get away with it. One person does it and all of a sudden everyone falls in line to do it, and that's the same thing with the CVD, the synthetic diamonds. One person gets away with it and they're doing it and they're making all this money and no one really knows because they can't tell. Then all these other jewelers line up behind them and start doing it, and all of a sudden it's okay until someone like Ben Baller comes out and just puts everyone on blast, puts them on notice, and keeps all these jewelers honest, because that's what needs to happen in this business. This stuff is nothing new. I mean, moist nights were a big thing, and before it's this and this and that, and the scam of jewelry has been going on for 100+ years. It's never going to change. That's why jewelers have such a bad reputation, and no one can really trust a jeweler because there's so many different scams that they can get away with, or they think they can get away with. Remember, a scam artist is thinking about today, not tomorrow. So, if they get caught in the long run, they'll be off to something else, doing something else. So you have to find, and my recommendation, I know you guys are going to be like, well, can I trust this jeweler, that jeweler? I don't really know. I didn't make the statement. I'm just making a video to address the statement. Obviously, he knows for a fact who's doing it. I don't. I mean, he's at the top of the industry. He talks to people in New York, talks to people in Philly, so he knows for a fact. But one thing that remains the same, you got to trust people you trust, and that's it. The people that are at the top that have been doing business for a while, they've been doing business for a reason. If they're just scamming, then they're going to get caught up eventually and be out of business. But I do see a lot of that on Instagram. People with these unbelievable prices, all these diamond pieces, making people doing legitimate business look bad, and that is the problem. You go on Ben Baller's site, IF & Co, go look what a 2-inch, 3 carat piece it costs a lot, and that's for a reason, because they're actually using good, legit quality diamonds, actually using the purity that's stamped and indicated. The quality is good. The diamond setters are some of the best on the West Coast. You get for what you pay for, and that, when you're buying diamond jewelry, even gold, you need to think about that. There's always someone out there that's willing to do the work for less, and prices might be better somewhere else, but at the end of the day, you're making a big investment. It's worth it to spend the extra $300-400 to invest in someone that's going to give you good quality, than to cut a few corners and be out a lot more money when you find out down the road that your piece is fake. So that's my recommendation. As always, go with someone you trust, someone you feel comfortable with, that when you buy a diamond piece or a gold piece, you're going to get what you pay for. And that's pretty much it. I think, as far as his posts, 90% is a high number, and that's a lot of people to call out in New York and Philadelphia. I see it go on Instagram. I see a lot of different jewelers pages, and a lot of the stuff I know for a fact is shady, is not right, but I don't say anything. It was a bold move by Ben Baller, but I'm glad. We got to keep everybody honest in this industry. That's it for today's video, and we will see you on our next jewelry video.